Welcome to the podcast, Through the Thick and Thin, where we highlight what it takes to be in a successful marriage. We live in a day and time where over 50% of all marriages fail. I believe it's because we're missing something, and in order to find it, I want to tap into those who have been successful in their commitment to their marriage. Each week, we will highlight a couple who has endured a test of their marriage and discuss how they were able to overcome it. Join us in this journey through the thick and thin. Now help me welcome our hosts, John and Mia Ruffin.
Once again, introduce my panel and also let my wife start by introducing herself. And we just want to talk about how long we've been married.
Hi, I'm Mia.
And I'm John. And yes, we are still married, and it has been 20 years this month. So we're celebrating all month 20 years of marriage, man. We made it. I'm still trying to figure out what 20 is. Is that the silver years?
I don't think so.
I don't know, something. We'll figure it out. By the end of this month, we'll have it down pat.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You are?
Yeah, my name is GW Chu, also known as Chef Chu.
Chef Chu.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
that's what's up.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Chef Chu, I'm gonna give you a shameless plug.
Uh-oh.
You have your own business, right?
I think
What's
I
your
do.
business?
Yeah, we have a company. It's called Chef Chu's Kitchen.
Ah,
We manufacture plant-based foods. We make chicken that look like chicken, but it ain't chicken.
oh man. So y'all hear that, right? So how can people find you if they're looking to connect?
ChefChusKitchen.com. So ChefChusKitchen.com. We ship nationwide right to your doorstep. And we got 14 flavors of delicious plant-based products. Some of the best on the planet, man. You can't go wrong with it.
So if like I want to get healthier
Yeah.
and I'm looking for protein and a good balanced meal,
Yeah.
and I'm not one of those chefs that can make up meals all week long because I get burnt out from doing that.
Yeah.
I can come to you. You can give me a package,
Man.
where every week my meals are good.
We literally give you a box. We got everything from fried chicken fillet. We got the crispy tenders. We got the barbecue ribs.
Okay.
The barbecue with the barbecue.
Okay, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Got the shredded steak. You can make your own tacos at home on Taco Tuesday. We got the 3-cheese mac, country boy greens. So literally, man, we giving you comfort food, simple ingredients, no cholesterol, low in calories, man. This is a great product, you know, if you're trying
And
to.
right at your doorstep.
Right at your doorstep.
That's what I'm saying, right at the doorstep.
Yeah.
I'm loving that because I don't think nobody's doing that. Before we turn this episode into Chef Chu's business, y'all go check him out because this one sounds good.
Yeah.
So is that like .com, chefchus.com?
Yeah, ChefChusKitchen.com.
Chef Chu's
Yeah, Chef-
Kitchen.com.
That's right.
And because I got family, I know I'm gonna be sending this to
Man, hey, we-
in
hey.
California,
Yes, sir.
North Carolina,
We ship
Florida,
nationwide to your doorstep.
Virginia. Okay, yo, y'all check it out because we pushing it to every state we know. I love it. All right, sorry, Chef Chu took it up.
That is fine.
And this
Mine
beautiful
was
woman
shine.
right beside him is.
Hello, everyone. I am Tina Chu, known as Chef Chu number 2.
She can cook too.
A little bit.
I like that. And how long have y'all been married?
Ooh, 15 or 16?
15.
15.
This is 15 years.
Man,
It feels like 20. It feels like
you know, I was just thinking about that. Time be going fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Indeed.
Wow.
There you go. So I'm thinking 20 years. I
Yeah.
have kids who are about to graduate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That to me is still hard to chew on. No pun intended. No pun intended. But it is hard to chew on that my daughter is graduating next year. So my family, y'all need to go ahead and save your ducats because it's going to be a grand party when my first graduates. Just letting you know. But I wanted to talk specifically today about business and family. I know one of the biggest challenges we had as a couple, or may have still be having, is the idea of being a business owner and being married. And the reason that is when I thought I was going to be a business owner, I was thinking I was going to have a whole bunch of people working for me. I'm going to be chilling at home with my feet crossed and waking up at 10 o'clock in the evening. And if my wife needs me, we can go have coffee. I was delusional. I was delusional. That's what I banked on. I told my wife, you want more time with me? Let me go full time in my private practice. Man, I've worked more for myself, harder for myself, which is not necessarily a bad thing because I ain't working hard for someone else. I'm building something of my own. Yeah. But it's hard building something of your own and connecting and having enough time for your family. Yeah. And so I want to talk a little bit about that because I can imagine, Chef, you have experienced that. Yeah. And so I want to just touch on that from the wife's perspective, the husband's perspective, or the entrepreneur versus the non-entrepreneur or the supporter, however you want to look at it. Yeah. But I want to touch on that a little bit on what that experience was like for you guys. And either one of you can share first.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when we got married, I was already in the food business. And crazy enough, my wife was living in Arkansas, and the job she was at had actually brought me on to run their cafe. So it's funny with us, I proposed to my wife in the kitchen.
See, that's how you do it right there.
She already knew, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You proposed to her in the kitchen.
Yeah. That's right.
You know, my last name Chu.
It's over. That's right. Better recognize.
We already know. He's a so, I love it. You know, we kind of did come into a relationship. You know, I had this calling use. I did food from a place not just as a career or just as a job. It really was a calling. And I was also looking for a helpmeet or, you know, a partner that could partner. Right. My wife had some an experience and background working in restaurants. She worked at a health food store and different things. So, you know, it was already kind of in our mindset that it would be, you know, a part of our journey as entrepreneurs. But to your point, I did not estimate the time commitment because, you know, before then I was an entrepreneur. I had, you know, my food business prior to marriage. I had a restaurant prior to getting married, and I was single. And, you know, I'm working 16, 18, 20 hours a day like it ain't nothing. I'm 22, 23, 24, 27, right. 28. You know, you just, you grinding, but you by yourself. Mm-hmm. Even when we got married, before we had kids, it's still, you know, we ain't got no kids. Yeah. And I think for us, you know, we had a restaurant and now we got kids. That's why I think, you know, things really started to... That it became more of a burden. Right. Where before it was fun. You know, we rocking together. We cooked in the restaurant. We gonna have this thing going. But the moment, and my wife can speak to this, the moment she got pregnant, I underestimated the entire process. I had the mindset she gonna be 8-7 months.
No, you said 9 months.
9 months. She cooking.
Serving
you know,
table.
Serving table. You know, I'm looking on the movies. You know,
well, I can't. I'm shaking my head. I'm agreeing, but I don't know about that 7-9 months. 7-9 months, you take it home. I don't need you around because I don't need to hear my feet tired. And, you know, I don't need my baby born on the floor.
Hey, I totally underestimated the reality. You can share, man, when she got pregnant, our whole situation of my expectations, that began to shift really quickly when she got pregnant.
Now, before you share, I want to say something I think is a benefit. Your partner was working with you.
Yeah.
That had to be a benefit.
Yes.
Because I'm going to tell you one of my challenges after you guys talk about y'all's, and it hits on that having your partner with you. That's something I think can be very connective.
Yes,
having your partner are destructive depending on your personality type.
Depends.
But go ahead. I want to hear from you from your perspective. What was that like?
I want to go back a little bit too, because when we were dating, my friends had told me, who knew his background, be ready for a roller coaster ride. Just the personality, you know, and just hardworking, you know. And sure enough, boy, we were cooking in the kitchen for a long time, working together. But yes, when we ended up marrying, it was a blessing working together, but it wasn't my personal dream. And that's something that we had to learn and grow in together. The joy and the happiness that we have and the connection now, this is 15 years later. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, it wasn't like that. We were together, but not together. You know, and it took time, but we got here.
I'll just speak a little bit of our journey, and then we'll kind of go into some questions. So before I started working for myself, I worked for different organizations in my field. But I think for me, not only was I working in my field, I had a lot of several side gigs. Especially near the end, I was working at a company doing private practice for myself, you know, a couple of hours a week. And I had a second gig from every once in a while. Believe it or not, I was a bouncer. So I would counsel those I was throwing out. You should not have gotten drunk. But I was spending a lot of hours away from home. It was different than the hours now, but I still spent a lot of hours away from home. I would just have breaks in between where I felt like I could connect, I could put work aside, and then I could connect. And I think that was one big thing that was different for me than now. But when I went full private, I really thought, and I was delusional, I thought I was about to live the good life. I was like, man, I can see clients when I was thinking I was gonna see like 4 clients a day, you know, in the morning and call it. I had all the numbers planned out and everything. And there's more to running a business than just the product.
For sure.
There is way more to running a business
Because
than
you're
product.
managing all aspects.
That's right.
Usually when you're working for a company, somebody else is running
in
all
each
the
department.
things. We become all the things.
Yeah, so that I think was something I could not foresee and caused a lot of problems. What about your experience with it?
Okay, so I am not a business person at all.
Wow.
In the least bit.
You said it. I did. That's all that matters.
And for business, for me, it literally scares me. It feels like a complete gamble because if you don't do what you need to do, then that directly affects our livelihood. And for me, it just wasn't worth the risk. It wasn't worth the risk. Like, why would you want to risk all that? You have to be, like we said, every single department that was somebody else. It's all on you.
Right.
Period. So I didn't like the idea of business, just in general. I still really don't. I mean, you know, in general. And then on the flip side of that, I knew it was something that John wanted to do. And so I'm trying to, you know, be the supportive wife over here and help him with his dreams, even though I feel scared. And so we had decided, we had talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. Like, we had set a date. Okay, in August of 2020, you're gonna go full-time in your own business, period. Everything else was gonna put to the side. This was like a year before, a year and a half. Like, it was some time. We had a plan. You
Before
guys
COVID.
might remember,
That's what I was thinking.
you might remember that the
Calculate.
world like ended in March of 2020. Just, we couldn't have planned for that. But we had the plan already in place. And really, COVID was like a little secret blessing for our business because literally everybody was wanting to be canceled. You know, like business was booming. Booming. And around that time, like a little before COVID, John was really looking into doing like virtual counseling sessions. Like, this is before it was like everything was, before the thing was a thing. And so literally when March 2020 hit and people wanted to come in, it was like, I can send you a link and we could do it virtually. Business boomed, okay? Over here on the other side of things, school was out. School was closed, so I was home. I was at home, literally just home. So it's like, okay, well, I can help you.
And it felt great.
So
Let me reiterate. It felt great. I felt like
but
I
was
could
home,
do this.
you know,
Yeah.
Like I was home because school literally shut down. School was closed, so we couldn't go. So I was home. So okay, I can help you. He loved it. I was just doing it, because I was home. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let me try to help you. I'm home.
Yeah.
And I think that time was really a sweet little time for us as a family.
And I was making money. You understand? Her contribution to the business
Yeah.
built the business.
Wow.
So I was seeing where I had to do everything. She stepped in because I had my business since 2016, part-time. And it wasn't until 2019 that we decided to go full-time.
For 2020.
And then when we did, I had the blessing of having her with me in that transition.
Yeah.
And as that transition was coming to a close, I was begging. I was like, yo, you could quit. Like, you literally
Many
don't
days
have,
he told me,
like, you don't need to go back to
job.
teaching,
Just
because
come on home.
I truly, and I'll say this, I'm going to ask my first question, but I'm going to say this. I truly believe if she would have stayed on, we would be in a different location, a different place. Like, as far as the business goes, we would be up a level because we were headed there quickly.
Maybe not, but then like we would have just put my whole dreams of my career just to the side.
And that's why I was like, okay. Now, so here's,
Yeah, and I don't even like business, like that.
but she good at it.
Yeah, she good at it.
She got a head for it.
Wow.
She's good with numbers. So I want to ask this question. It's a two-part question, one for you guys as supporters and then one for us as entrepreneurs. So as supporters, how much trust did you have to, I'm going to ask this a little bit different. Was it trust that you had, or was it just like, you know how when you're on a roller coaster and you're scared, but you're too committed? So you just got to hold on. So was it trust, or was it just holding on for dear life? If it was trust, how much trust did it take to allow, or I don't want to use the word allow, but to engage and put your hopes in us as we went on this unstable adventure?
Now, y'all are in business though together, right? Like
Yeah.
that's like, so that's a little different.
Well,
from
I'm in a
out-
supportive role as well. I am in a supportive role
Okay.
as well. I've been since the beginning, but I would love to. Yeah, I would love to answer that.
Yeah, please.
So let me once again let me go backward. My husband, while we were dating, well, we were actually engaged. We were dating. He had taken me out to the mall, and he said, "I want you to get whatever you want." And
You can
and
buy whatever you
I didn't
like.
know how much money this man had, but he's like, whatever you like. And so I got myself a couple outfits. I got a couple boots. And once we were all done, he said, well, we're on our way home. He said, I just want you to know that I plan to take care of you. Yeah. And when we got engaged, he came with this big old jar of change, okay? Big old jar of change. He said, however much that is, he's like, that's gonna be your wedding dress. I was like, and sure enough, it was a good dress.
It was a dope wedding ring. I like it.
But he proved, it was incidents like that over and over in the beginning of our relationship that showed me, he got me. He got me. And we would have those conversations. And I've watched him at work, in business, and how he dealt with things, and his leadership, when it came to God. And was it scary at times? Yes, definitely, because you're right. It is very uncertain. The entrepreneurial way, it's risky.
Yeah.
And one minute you could be here, and next minute you could be here.
Feast or famine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but
Yeah.
but I witnessed over and over just the dedication, the willingness to humble when things do go a certain way and the communication was there, when stuff wasn't all together, but the trust was built at the beginning of our experience.
So it was trust, not holding on for dear life. It was actually trust.
Yeah.
So I want to put a pin in that because I think that is a important note that you demonstrated to her that I got you. I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
Holding on.
So I know it was a hold on. I didn't do it. Now I wish I did though. That was smart. If I had did just some gestures, and you probably need that every once in a while. Yeah. Just some gestures that I got us. Man, I need to do that. Thank you. So that I'm putting that as a star so that we can go back and visit.
Yeah.
All right.
Because my husband doesn't always think about details of things. It's where I feel like it kind of, I'm like, hey, did you remember do X, Y, Z? Because, it's this, now we're in June, I know we did it in May, but we got to do that again in June, So I feel like he definitely was much more of like, just in the moment with the counseling part, and that part was fine. But the rest of running the business part is where I was like, hey, like, you can't forget to do all these things right here. Oh, are you putting money away for the taxes that are going to come up? I mean, I know it's in 8 months, but if we don't start, putting that in there now, we're not going to have it in 8 months. And, got to make sure this is separate and going into this account. And you can't use the business card and accidentally, forget that's not the one for home and go get.
Like I said during COVID when she was on it.
Yeah, I see
She was on it. Like I said, we'd be at a different level. But she had her dream. She's a teacher. I love it.
Yeah, and so I think for me, part of my support was, figuring out, he's going to do that. I have to release myself from getting too totally stressed to death out about it. So I need to just make sure that I create boundaries so that I'm not as affected when those things come up. So now it looks more like, can you just put this amount right here by this day, and and that is all. And the tax lady will deal with you with the other stuff.
Oh, you help with the reminders.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But over time with dealing with it, I feel like I don't want to say allowed you to keep your business, but I haven't put up a fuss about business.
Because I've challenged her. I've asked, do you want me to let it go?
Wow.
And so put that on me.
And that's what her response is. Like, you're not going to put that on me.
Never asked me that question.
I have. And I was willing to let it go.
No, we're not. If you decide you want to do that, that's fine. But no, it won't.
It's
be
your
because-
baby.
Yeah, it won't be because me. No, absolutely not. So we will just have to figure something out. But nah.
So as a business owner, how have you navigated the fear factor, the unknown, the challenge of making sure your business is profitable for the stability of your home?
Yeah. I've been in business for a long time. So I started as an entrepreneur when I was 19. And pretty much, I'm 43, so it's been 20 plus years of 4 restaurants, full manufacturing business. So
Right.
I've been, I've had the highs, the lows. I think the biggest thing from a Christian perspective is that I've come to a place where I've seen God just do what he does.
Right.
Where you realize in our businesses, you're a counselor, I'm making healthy food. So I'm changing lives one chew at a time, So I'm a partner with God. And I think that's also important as well for our spouses, is that them also knowing that I'm partnering with God. So my success is his responsibility.
Right.
I think there's been a lot of times, where I'm still learning this. I'm not saying I've learned this lesson completely, but I've seen God provide when I didn't have. My business, I got to raise a lot of money because I manufacture food products. I have a piece of equipment that might cost $120,000.
Yeah, thousands
Right.
of dollars.
$120,000.
Yes.
For one piece of equipment.
Yeah.
So I've gotten investors to give me, to invest, $500,000 into our company. So I've seen like that type of aspect of business, and there's been times that I had payroll, $30,000 payroll. I only got $10,000 in my bank account, and
More than once.
like it's something like crazy. Last you in the school industry, like so we serve school districts in California. We got a school district in the middle of June to give us. Lady said, "I got a purchase order for you for $50,000." It's June. School is out. The budget closes on June 30th because they do the calendar from July 1st to June 30th. I got to get rid of this budget, and I'm going to go ahead and give you a contract, and I got to spend the money immediately. So she sent me a check. I'm talking about that week.
Yeah.
For $50,000 for food that she's not going to buy till the following school year.
Yeah.
And we had payroll due the next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, when I say multiple of those type of
yeah.
experiences,
Oh, yeah.
contracts come in or whatever that situation comes in, she's seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over
She knows
and
this.
over again.
And so it gets to a point now where I'm the one that's fearful. And she looking at me like,
Why you feeling?
That's what God did.
You already know.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
so it became where, the provision we have seen that God is the one who's the one that provides the provision. But I think as men, we want to provide for our family.
Right.
We put our identity a lot of times in the success
Yeah.
of our financial success of the business and the stability of our business.
Right.
And I'm learning to divorce that thought. That God is the one that He's the one that provides the strength. He gives the wealth. He gives the everything. And if I make Him or look to Him as the one responsible, it helps to remove the fear, and I can now trust. And that's been a 20-year journey. I haven't mastered that, but I think the more I remember that, the better my days are in that reality.
I was sitting here thinking about how would I answer this question, but I know how the listeners are listening to that right now. And they're like, yeah, that's great for you. But how practical is that? I'm going to tell you from experience, especially those who have a Christian or spiritual background. In this business, if you don't trust in God, you're going to quit. You're going to lose it. You're going to have, if you don't believe that it's going to happen, you don't have faith that it's going to happen, business will scare you.
Yeah.
It will scare you. You will look at the mountain and say, please don't fall on me.
Wow.
And so you have to have some spiritual roots, a sense of faith. And so for me, I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
There's been too many times, and Mia don't even know, because Mia's more hands-off since 2000.
Yeah.
She don't even know how much faith it takes to be here.
Yeah.
On that end, for me, I know you have faith because you're trusting the process.
Yeah.
But there have been some scary moments that I haven't been able to share.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I'm just so thankful
Yeah.
in my God for providing in ways like I'm pleading with them, and it shows up right on time.
Right on time.
And so I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah, man.
And I know it's real. Nobody can take that. Nobody can lie to me and say it isn't.
Yeah.
It's very real, because it doesn't happen too many times for it not to be real.
That's right.
Because I don't have that much luck.
Yeah. Wow.
I've tried.
Yeah.
I'm not that lucky. I've bought many a scratch offs.
Yeah.
Most I get is a free ticket.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of luck.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, so then my next question when it comes to, and this is more on the family side of things.
Yeah.
I've made promises of commitments on what I want to do with my family.
Yeah.
But the job has a way of changing that in an instant,
Yeah.
in a moment. And I mean, there's been times I'm on my way home because we're going to have family time, and now I'm in crisis. I got to go on alert. I got to get to the hospital.
Wow.
And I'm sitting with a client for hours. And Mia's like, I know she's disappointed. Because we had been talking about this, and I really want to. It's not like I want to avoid it.
Yeah.
I really want to. But there are times, especially some of my contracts, where they'll call me on a weekend.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we got someone, ready to jump off the proverbial deep end. We need you here.
Wow.
And I have to go.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
Both perspectives. How do you deal with that in business? As a business owner, when you've made commitments to your family that you have to change because a big order came in that needs to be filled and out overnight.
I mean, we went through it, man. I mean, I had a restaurant for years, and restaurant business, I mean, you open early, you got to get there to go shopping and lunch, for lunch or whatever. I'd be there, leave at 5 in the morning, and I didn't go home until some nights till 10, 11 o'clock at night. And to be honest, I burned out and it wasn't sustainable. And then I always say it's always seasons. Like when we start up something, there's a season of like woman has a child, it's gonna be a lot of work from that first year. Then it kind of levels out. What I've learned now is I can't do everything. I've learned now to delegate. Like my whole vision in my business at this stage, now I can't say this because you're starting out, you kind of doing everything. But as you mature in your business, it gets to a point where you have to fire yourself. I had to hire an HR person to help me to hire people. I got it, we got it. One of my best buddies became my business partner. He became my CFO. He has an MBA in finance, so I brought him on my team. We hired, this is recent. I mean, I got a whole team that does help me with marketing. And I can go down the list of all the things, but I learned over time, hire well. That was probably one of the biggest things. Before I didn't have an HR program. So when I finally got an HR program, before I would hire people, man, and they would just be disastrous. Be there for a couple of weeks, and I'm trying to be a missionary, and I'm trying to, I got my black men coming in. I want to rescue the brothers, and they lazy, they don't want to work, and they making my life hard.
Right.
I'm picking up the slack for them, and I can't be home because I got to make this food stay late, etc. And it got to a point though where it's like I need to get a HR program. Right. I need to hire a person that knows how to help me to hire people. And when we did that, eventually, we got a real team. We got a really good manager. And so all that to say is like, we have gone through the periods of broken promises. We went through the period of years, me working in the restaurant space and me never learning how to say no. I always, yes, you got this part, yes, yes, yes. I'm just always saying yes to everything. And now she'll tell you, shit, I'd be like, nope. All right. You gonna do this? Nope. Hey, that no quick. That no is quick, man. I'm really selective on what I do, what I choose to do. But I think that's for every business owner. I know we're talking to people who are starting businesses and who may be young in business. But you have to mature in knowing when to say no, knowing that get mentorship, really focus on fixing or not fixing, but learning systems to help your business operate, in a way that's, where you're not the only one having to do it. There's a system in place, there's operational practices, et cetera, et cetera. And so that for us, man, has been crucial. Last thing I say, like my job, our business is based in California, but we live in Alabama, so for the first 3 years of us moving here, for the 2.5 years, I was traveling to California every other week.
Wow. And I was recovering from breast cancer.
From breast cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got here from
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to talk about that. You brought it up, so you got to talk about it. How was that going to California, having to work in business, and now you have life-threatening concerns?
And it wasn't just that. It was a variety of things going on. As you know, like we have dynamics and stuff that happen. We had just moved, so I'm in a totally new place, meeting new people, new church community, and my husband's gone. And my mother-in-law had to come to help take care of the children because that's just what we had to do. It was very difficult. It was to be honest with you, I don't talk about my breast cancer journey because of that experience of not having my husband by my side. That hurts. Now, I understood why he had to do what he had to do, but that was a very crucial. My dependence upon God had to grow immensely. And I went through my own emotional and mental turmoil through that time, and we had to go through that together and work through that together. But I wanted to share this, though. It's very important for us as supporters to not compare ourselves to other families and what this man or husband is or is not doing, wife as well, if the male is a supporter. Because for the longest time, I did that. I struggled with the comparison. Well, so-and-so has this and so-and-so and their husband and their wife. But the truth of the matter is they don't have your dynamic.
Yeah.
It's not fair to my husband
Right.
at all. That he doesn't do the 9 to 5 and leave home. He has a different, so I then became, instead of just being physically supportive, I became emotionally supportive. Creating safe space for him, really opening my heart to him, really because before he would bring business to me and it would be difficult to deal with because, we're working together. But now it's not just bringing your business, it's bringing your heart to me. I'm really stressed out. This is really difficult. These are the fears that I have. And I feel like everything's about to fall apart, and I'm not doing my job as a father and as a husband, and where we can talk about that, when that shifted, even through the breast cancer journey, it helped us both to connect and solidify. In those times when we're apart, we knew how to come back together. Well, let me share this.
How did you
So,
connect with it? Because that would have been I can imagine most supporters push back like, God, no, I'm about to go.
Well, there is a practical component around why we moved. So we were living in California in the rat race. I mean, you can imagine even about the Bay Area, crazy expensive. Our living conditions were just, at the time, wasn't ideal. So we found a way out, which meant moving to Alabama. And we wanted to, come to this area, Huntsville, kids going to Christian, the academy here and so forth. But the point was, we still had our business in California. And so we left with the reality that I would have to travel. And with the reality that and when we made the decision, which was a faith journey, we had decided to move, and a week or two later, we found out that she had breast cancer. So it was like this faith journey. And it ended up being a real blessing on one side, but the painful side was I still had to go back because at that time, didn't have an HR program. My team was horrible. It was disastrous. Just one of the worst situations ever. And I was not home like I wanted to be. But it was like, the outcome was still, the kids was our motivation. They were in a better position. Yeah, because here's the thing. You did this business, like you said, you desired legacy, generational wealth. You wanted to be in a position, may not happen today, but in 10 years, you might be able to be in that position where now you control your time completely. You got your models. I mean, it will be there one day. It's on the way. You know what I'm saying? And so, 3 years ago, we look like, man, this is never going to end. Now, as of the last 3 or 4 months, I haven't been back to California.
that's right.
3 or 4
It's been
months.
home.
I've been asking, looking at me like, when you going back to California? You're like, when you leaving, bro? You know that? You know what I'm saying? You still home. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm home now, because she runs an important part of our business, but now I'm looking at her like, what you doing today? What you doing today? You know what I'm saying? But at the time, so the kids, in essence, though, they were going to Oakwood Academy at the time, and they really found a group of friends, and it was a healthy space for them. And all that being said, it actually turned into, man, this is why we did it. You know what I mean? My wife, being in that environment, because again, we was in an environment that wasn't the healthiest spiritually, and this on a lot of levels. She just blossomed. We bought a little farm in Newmarket, Alabama, and so we were on a little farm, and it's just real peaceful. You go over here and gunshots, to. It's like, it ain't nothing out here but
Birds.
There's pitch black, You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a very different,
Safe.
very different reality for us. And when I say, so that all played into, it was a sacrifice, but sometimes your sacrifice is worth sacrificing when you see the end of the road.
Yeah.
And I think that was a piece for us that that gave motivation. And the last thing I say, like my wife can speak to it more plainly, but she did a lot of work in her own trauma. And she went through a process of healing from her own personal trauma. And her healing became healing for me in the sense where I learned tools. Because now, her passion it ain't food for sure. She do food because I do food, and that's why you make our money. But her passion is coaching and helping people process trauma and pain. She loves that. You know what I mean? And so every time I'm talking to her, we talk about all the trauma definitions and all this stuff and childhood adverse, I don't know half this stuff, but she's going through all of that. And I'm learning all of this, but it's helping us learn how to communicate and how to process through the stuff that we're going through individually.
He's now working on himself
through
that process.
So something you said, I want to hone in as we are in our last few minutes of this show. Man, guys, it's a lot, but there was some nuggets in this one. Man, we're gonna play that back and make sure we highlight them. But something you said I thought was really important, especially around the getting there one day. Yeah. And what I'm learning in my experience now that I've been in practice for over 10 years is you can't rush it.
Yeah.
Unless you got a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Because, now if I came in with like $1 million, I could have hired a whole HR team. Publicists and, everything that I could imagine I'm going to need. I would have came in and just did it. And then, and we would have got out the gate as a full-fledged
practice.
Yes. Making it back. But most people starting businesses can't do that.
Yeah.
And so we have to build these things in place.
Yeah.
And I think through that, some character is built.
Absolutely.
I know character has been built.
Yeah.
All right, so with this last question, I always ask, what is one tool out of what we've discussed tonight that you would share with an up-and-coming couple who one is an entrepreneur and the other one is a supporter in that entrepreneur?
I would say to just try to be open to your partner's ideas and support them.
Open to their ideas and support them, yes. Yeah, they have that faith component to it too.
Wow.
What would you say?
I'm really big in creating safety for our spouses because we carry so much stress. And yes, I may have a dream, and yes, you may have a dream. But if we open our hearts for each other, we have a safe place to land and talk about those hard things that are going to come. That would be a big thing for me.
Don't shy away from the
Be
hard
vulnerable.
conversations.
Yeah.
Embrace them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for me, I would say embrace mentorship. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There's always someone who's been in your shoes. And it's amazing enough, there's somebody probably in your network, whether at church, whether you're at a small business administration or some business group that you can get involved in that can probably help you to get through where you're going through if you just simply ask.
And I'm gonna steal yours. Whenever possible, as an entrepreneur, show your supporter what the dream is all about. So you can give them a glimpse of where it's gonna be, as long as they're patient. You are doing well because they need that. Yeah. Choose. Okay, one more time. That is choose.
Yeah, Chef Choose.
Chef
Choose Kitchen.
Kitchen.com. Chef Choose with an S?
Yes.
With an S, yep, with an S.
Okay.
Yep.
Kitchen.
Yep, .com.
You can get healthy vegan food. I'm assuming, right?
That's it, healthy vegan food. That's right, man. But it tastes delicious, though, bro. It tastes amazing. At your doorstep, yes, sir.
You can trick your kids. Thinking they're eating chicken nuggets and they are eating cauliflower.
Come on, man. Right. Come on, man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, man, guys, thank you for coming. I hope your
Thank you for
company
having us.
blows up.
Yeah, likewise.
Even more so than
Yeah.
it is now. Like I hope, man, y'all, if y'all are doing 10 million this year, I want y'all to do 20
Man,
million.
thank you. Hey,
Let's make it happen.
In the name of Jesus. I proclaim it.
Come on, I love it. I
All
love it.
because of this podcast.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey. Come on, man. Yes, sir.
Hey,
yes,
they
sir.
shook on it. They shook on it.
Wow.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for staying all the way to this point. Subscribe, like, share, so that this information can get out to those that need it. Once again, this is through the thick and thin, because we like to stay together for a long time. Love you.
Love you too.
All right.
After 20 years of marriage, we have been tested and we have